Hello, my name is Shadley and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 in Siam. In previous episode we were grabbing a little bit of some lands here and there. We now have a diplomatic play against the second Uluru, the one that was rebelling against the other one. So we're now combining all of Australia essentially. But overall not too shabby. Oh, and they back down. There we go. Let's have a look. What did we get from them? Some arts academies. Alright, let's use some film art over there first things first. Independent art is probably fine. Motor industries, let's at least go for the electric engines, that's for sure. And probably automobiles wouldn't be too bad. I mean, the price, well, okay, I suppose the stuff over here is a bit limited. How much of, oh yeah, there's basically no pops in here, so let's go for the assembly line from the get-go. And then munitions plant, we're going to go for the explosive shells. Whaling stations, let's go for the steam powered ships. And refrigerated rail cars. It's going to say there's a bit more pops in the workforce there. And there's also a bit of a wheat farm, so we can get some more stuff from there. Let's put in the electric trains at least. Steel passenger carriages. I'm hoping that that's going to be enough infrastructure. Probably not. We'll see. Let's get that underway. So I suppose Sulu is going to be the next one that will conquer. Jing might join on the enemy side. Not too worried about that, to be fair. We got our troops from here. Oh, did we lose the general? No, it's just here. Alright. Well, let's send it over there. Oh, and Papal States has been annexed. Okay, so they had another revolution. Burmese women's travels. Right, so we get plus 10% success chance on the law. Okay, I mean, luckily it doesn't take all that long for each roll to happen, so we'll probably pass this soon enough. The question is, how many rolls do we still need for it? Right, so what we're going to have a look at is... oh, we'll discover and Khorasan, alright. Not too bad. Oh, actually, I do wonder, is there any more oil fields that we can expand? No, there's whaling stations that we could do. Not necessarily a lot of pops in there, but I'm sure that if we build them, then some of the people will move in. So we should be fine in that regard. But the standard of living is still 12.8 on average, so it's not great. I'll be quite honest, but you know, it's still improving. Portugal sides with Sulu. Oh, are you actually going to stay in that war? Because if you do, Portugal, I might want to take treaty port in Guangdong, at least, so Macau will be gone. And then also conquer the Portuguese Sunda Islands. I don't think we necessarily need to take anything else from them. Well, Goa might not be a bad idea to be fair either, but we'll see if they actually stay in. First things first. Right, so I guess we'll need to send in an army from here to fight against the Portuguese on one front or another. Maybe we'll start from there. We'll advance through and slowly go all the way through everything, I hope. And then I suppose we'll activate one of the armies from here to fight against the Macau. And they're back down. Well, at least we got this in here. Right, so there's the rice farms. Alright, let's just put in the steam power treasure machines there. And good fertilizers. We really lack a lot of pops in here. Let's get the rail transportation if nothing else. Is there any sort of infrastructure? There's a little bit of infrastructure in here. Maybe we can get a bit of a port in, and then livestock we can maybe reduce the workforce a little bit in there. And then I guess the cotton farms as well, a few. So that's going to say give us a bit more pops available. Admittedly, it's only a small part of the state there. So that kind of tracks. Right, so who all do we have a truce with right now? Britain, Jing, and the New Zealanders. Alright, well, if we were to declare war on the Spanish Philippines, Spain would be joining on that, but I suppose we could conquer state Luzon. If nothing else, we'll take the Northern Island there then. And I suppose we got our army from here. Oh, where is that actually? Did it get sent back? Oh, it got sent back over here. Let's just send you back to Indonesia headquarters for a little bit. So it'll be usable in the correct area. Right, so oddly, okay, it's 107. 108 million, or billion, sorry, GDP. That's at least coming along quite nicely. So, are they inviting anyone? They're still fearful. Just gonna add in more war goals, just in case. So, it would be Visayas. And then we'll also go for the Mindanao. So basically just want to take all of this. I don't actually want to go any further than that. But that's going to be yet another island, or section of islands. Oh, Sint sides with Spain, alright. Right, Sint isn't really that big of a problem for me. Right, so I guess we could use a bit of... oh, right, we got our troops in here, hopefully. So let's go ahead and set you over there. And I guess we could send in one of these armies. Assist on the southern front. That'll probably be fine. I have a feeling that they'll still surrender, because they are fearful. And there's not much they can do, so we'll probably just get that state at least. Unfortunately, there's no truce breaking in this game. Alright, the colonial affairs is going further down. This is caught within the industrialists. With their support, the bill shall pass. I mean, that's plus 15% already, so that's 88% total. Oh, wow. If it doesn't pass soon, then I'm a bit surprised. Like, how many bonuses do we have? We've got 4 positive things in there already, then giving another 45% boost in there. So, yeah, okay. If it doesn't pass soon, then I'm gonna get slightly upset. They haven't brought in any armies in here, but also Spain is fighting another few wars, I think. At least they got a civil war going on, so they probably will be a little bit busy with that one. As the radical numbers is still dropping at pretty good speed, and the loyalists are increasing because we got a massively good legitimacy. And the prestige is almost 10,000, that's pretty good. Things are getting better and better. Oh, we lost the 15% offense and defense from the armed forces. But then, not quite as happy anymore, but oh well. Amount of loyalists, oh wow, it's already 14 million. I wonder, probably not, but I'm kind of hoping that we can reach the point where there's more loyalists than radicals at some point here. Probably not going to happen, let's be honest. Okay, so they can't invite anyone else in. Let's declare neutrality over there. I don't know if they'll back down, to be fair, but if they don't, then we'll, you know, we'll get Philippines. So I'm okay with that. Plus, we got the armies in here, so we'll conquer all of this fairly quickly, I reckon. Oh, Sint abandons Spain, alright. So they're now definitely fearful at this stage, and they're back down. Alright, well, we got quite a bit more pops in this state, that's for sure. And a lot of stuff in here. Let's use a bit of transportation. Oh, is there... Okay, we got some ports in there, but it's not active for because that it's building a new one in there. So that's sort of bug that happens from time to time. Let's get a few railways in there just in case, as well. I don't know how bad is the infrastructure. Well, it's actually not too bad infrastructure levels quite yet. It could be a lot worse, but there we go. A lot of that is now fully employed, and we're still losing 160. I suppose we got a lot of art academies in here which are not built from the investment pool. And thus we're losing quite a bit of money here for a brief moment, but once we get through all of that, we should maybe start building a bit more... Well, electricity is always appreciated, or tea. Expand tea plantations. Let's have a look. So we've got 50 already in Guangxi. Another few there. Some in Yunnan. Ah, finally we got propertied women. Armed Forces probably doesn't enjoy that all that much, but oh well. At least we got one. Oh, and vote for women. Women in Siam have begun organizing a campaign for their right to vote in general elections. The leader of the intelligence has emerged as the leading figure of this movement. A worthy cause, I guess. So, if I was to try to go for the women's suffrage, the monks will hate that, landowners will hate that, and the armed forces will kind of hate that. Although the intelligentsia and the trade unions would absolutely love that, it's still, we got a massively good legitimacy. So if we were to push for this, we'll probably be able to pull that off. Oh, there's starting to be a bit more factions supporting the legal, or restoring the legal guardianship. Oh well, that's probably not going to happen, mind you. About to hit the 10,000 prestige. I wonder if there's a lot of achievements that we can get still in this run. Probably not really. We've got on... Let's actually have a look at the possible ones. Switch sides to the revolutionaries in civil war and win the enduring conflict. Well, I haven't had that one. Well, we haven't had a lot of stuff yet. Manifest Mexico starting. Okay, inventive is, well, it's probably technically possible. In practice, probably not very likely. Not autocratic, so we can't do that one. We probably won't reach the 95% literature rate either. We could maybe try to get the workers' protection labor, because didn't we start with serfdom? That's something that we could try to still do. Let's have a look. That would be in the serfdom abolished, so the workers' protection. I got 24% support for it. So maybe we could pull that off. We'll probably have an election before we get to that far. Right, so who else should we fight? We could fight Japan, I guess. Japanese shogunate. They got defensive back with Korea, but let's go ahead and conquer Shugoku. And we've got an army over here, that'll probably be sufficient. Unless they have a massive troops. I mean, they've got a decent bit of armies, actually. But they're fearful, they probably won't be fighting. Let's add, just to be on the safe side, add some war goals. Conquer a state. Basically just take all of Japan. Even the Ryukyu Islands. That leaves us with 51, so we could even take some land in Korea if we want to. Well, I mean, I suppose it doesn't hurt putting in the war goals there, other than the fact that the infamy is going to increase. But maybe we can reach 1,000 infamy. I think that would be pretty good. So which one? That's a Yangho. And then that one. Okay. So we'll take in sort of the southern portion there. Not entirely a southern half, but it's a decent bit of land there regardless. If they stay in the war, it's still fearful, so they probably won't even fight. And we'll just get this state in here. But, you know, at least it's the entire island of Honshu, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it's still better than nothing. Let's look at the journal entries in the meanwhile. Oh, Germany sides with Japan, alright. I wonder if they're still going to fight. I mean, I suppose they're still worried. If I activate some more armies, they'll probably surrender. But let's, well, we'll activate at least one army on both of these front lines here. Or regions there. Right, but I was looking at the journal entries. Chemical warfare. I don't really want to activate that one. Call for women's suffrage, that's still got 90 years to go. War among the clouds. Aerial reconnaissance. Uses creation 25%. Oh, so one of the enemies needs to have aerial reconnaissance as well. Spitting fire. Oh, flamethrowers. From faster factories. Peasants less than 35%. We haven't managed to get that because we just have such a massive amount of stuff going on constantly. And freedom of trade is not something we'll get to. There's not a lot of decisions to do anymore. Oh, the Germans are bringing a lot of troops here. Alright, maybe we'll send in another army there just in case. We'll send in one of the Chinese armies to defend the front there. And then what we'll do is we'll just put in our fleet to, especially the one from southern China, to just start sinking the convoys that they'll have going in there. Maybe we can have another one sinking more convoys. Great convoys through here, maybe? Spread them out a little bit. So it's going to take a while before their troops arrive here. Oh, Russia sides with them. Well, we can't take anything else in this war, unfortunately. But if we need to sink more convoys, then that can be done. What we might want to do, though, is... Well, I suppose we can send this one to sink convoys from the north. There's not a lot of convoys going through there yet. We'll send someone to sink the convoys over there. So we got Japan sort of surrounded, at least, with our fleet. And hopefully they don't sink too many of our convoys. They might still, admittedly, but we'll see. So are they now actually... Oh, we don't need to be part of that one. So in this one, they're still worried. They won't be able to call in anyone else in. And they just want a little bit of territory, but I'm not too worried about that. How's the... They got pretty good defenses in their average. Thanks to the Germans. Of course, once we sink a lot of the convoys, so what I suppose I could do is put you on defense as well, for the time being. And we've got pretty darn good defenses, actually. 284 on average. Right. Oh, and there we go. We've got women's suffrage. Huzzah. We haven't had elections yet, though. Right, so we wanted to push for the workers' protections. The industrialists would hate that. Landowners would definitely hate that. Trade unions would absolutely love that, though. And we got 24% support for it, so it's a okay chances. Industrial boom in Bangkok. Ooh, excellent. More manufacturing industries throughput. 10% there for 2 years. That's gonna be a lot of extra production, I can tell you. So we won't have a lot of troops there. What I suppose we could do is we could do a landing in Korea in the meanwhile, if the Koreans send in all their troops to this front. They have sent quite a bit, though. Let's have a look at the... I think they have all their armies in there. So if we just do a landing in Korea, we can force them out of the war. And then we'll maybe do a landing in the rear over here and just overrun the enemy. So we'll just hold this front line. I suppose in that case we might want to utilize the fleet from here. Well, we'll do a little bit of convoy raiding first, then we'll do a landing in Korea. And then, assuming that they don't give up, they might still do that. Because let's be honest, we got the strongest army. Ooh, oil rush subsidies. Ah, okay. Well, we did have the oil rush in here. We got 30 rigs total. That is, how much do we... 4,000 oil that we produce total in here. That's not bad. Not bad at all. So there's going to be a lot of troops in here. Some of them have fairly low morale right now. Hopefully we'll sink enough of the convoy so that they won't be having a lot of morale to fight with. I suppose what we should do, just in case, is activate a few more armies. Oh, that's already standing by. This one... Oh, we got 2 armies in here. Oh, which one of these is... I believe this is the one from Indochina, so I'm just going to send that one back. And then this could be mobilized to protect the stuff there. I don't think they'll be doing landings, admittedly, but, you know, it might not hurt to have things set out. Oh, they are going to be attacking us. They got 100 attack. Oh, modern financial instruments, good. Go ahead and get another one. Antibiotics, I suppose we'll get that one underway. There's still way too many things over here that we need to do to get all the text done. I suppose a large part of that is because we didn't have the protected speech for the longest time. If we had gone for that early on, then the text spread would have been a lot more, or had a lot more impact over time. Oh, now they've got 400 battalions in here. Well, once we start singing your convoys, you won't be all that happy. To arms! Hey, Warring Among the Clouds completed. The Ace Officer. Siamese war support versus... Oh, in Siam versus Japanese shogunate increased by 10. Or... Ooh. Who is that one? One of the generals. Oh, he's currently defending... Oh, right, actually. Let's give him a bit more offensive, or offense over there. So once we start pushing, we'll be able to do a lot more. But I have a feeling that unless they send in like 100 sort of battalions in a combat, we should be able to hold them off for a while. They got a bit of an advantage in numbers there, but we got such a massive defense that we are going to win that one. Actually, if we have a look at the Great Powers list here a little bit. We're fighting the number 2 in the Great Powers list, as well as number 6. And, well, Korea and Japan aren't all that high in here. But yeah, we're fighting at least the number 2 and the 6, but will they be enough to challenge us? Probably not. Taking a decent bit of casualties ourselves over here as well, but they are taking a lot more, of course. And have we sunk any... Oh, yeah, we sunk a lot of convoys. Including some German convoys. 900 German convoys going through Jalman Sea. So that should start dropping their morale drastically. Well, at least to some degree. Maybe it's not quite as drastic as I was hoping for. I think at this stage, though, we are going to use the fleet... Oh, actually, what we might want to do is slow down a little bit, because there's just a lot of armies moving about. So the Java Sea fleet is this one. I'm going to give you naval invasion orders into Korea, and we're going to take one of the armies that is not busy. For example, that one. That's the artillery commander, right? Yes, okay, so that's going to be really good. We'll conquer all of Korea quickly, and then that is going to force out 50 battalions out of the war. We might even get some fleets from them, actually. And then we can just do a landing in the rear here and just push all the way in. Oh, we got a bit of attrition on our troops as well. It's not too bad yet. But it will cause some issues. Is this one? This is what the one from southern China, right? Yes, okay, so what we could do is we can take the fleet from the... Actually, it is the fleet over here. So that one. Escort convoys into Japan. So we'll engage their fleets if need be. And then we'll still have someone sinking convoys over there. I suppose we can take the small fleet from here and put you raiding convoys into there, for example. Korean convoys will not be affected, but the German convoys will still be sunk, hopefully. Worker safety negotiations. Inherent time will increase, but success chance bar will improve as well. I suppose we'll take that one. Enactment time will be a little bit longer now, but it's still only 125 days. And the first defense has held. Took a lot of casualties in there. Oh, the first election. Siam's holding his first election since the voting franchise was extended to women, marking the beginning of a new era in Siamese democracy. Okay, so trade unions against the feminists, or intelligence against the feminists, or create victory for the suffrages. And both of them will gain the popularity. I suppose we'll go for that one. So I'm guessing that our... Oh, Social Democratic Party is now a separate thing. They got a lot of votes coming on. Alright, let's see how that impacts the political field then. We've got a lot of expansions going in here, so hopefully our morales haven't dropped too far in here yet. On the bigger army, it has dropped a decent bit in there. It's still around 60%. And we've managed to inflict a little bit of stuff on there, like, oh wow, the Russians have no morale whatsoever. Once we do our landing over here into Korea, that's also going to be quite nice. They are sending convoys over there. So there's a bit of an impact in there, and okay, they're attacking now with another army, this relatively large army actually. Whilst the morale situation is not too shabby for a lot of the troops, but there's some troops that are definitely impacted by that. But I think we are still going to win, because that's not very good offensive troops there. So we'll just inflict a lot of casualties and slowly win that. And now they had some convoys being sunk there, or some of our convoys were sunk there, but now they've got the escorting going. I think the morale situation is going to be somewhat better, at least for part of the army. Although actually, it's going down to 19%, oh wow. Alright, well at least we're sinking their convoys as well, if nothing else. Oh, and we engaged the Korean fleet here. Well, what do they have? They got ironclads. Okay, so they are definitely not a match for our dreadnoughts. There we go, and that's a pretty good invasion there. They're now moving some troops in here, at least the Russians are, and the Germans and the Koreans are moving in as well. But the Koreans aren't going to be a match for our troops most likely, and we've conquered part of the... Ooh, let's go ahead and advance on that front instead. We've got a bit of an attrition problem over here. But they've moved a lot of their troops away from this front, so let's start attacking against the defenders. There's a lot of Germans in there still, but we've got the extra points in there, and that might allow us to delay their attacks quite a bit in there until the supply issues have been fixed. They've brought in some troops now. It's mostly the Koreans, a bit of Russians. We only got 38 battalions in there. They're not attacking as well, but I think... No, that's going to be a blunder. They got over 200 defense as well. So I suppose what we'll just do is we'll hold their ground there. I suppose what we could do is we could send in... well, you're Pelliger, but you're a defense specialist as well. So I'm just going to send you there. And I suppose we'll have one smaller army, like this one, go and empty out the pocket there. Which hopefully isn't going to be too bad. And our attack over here is not going to be... Oh, that's our defense actually. Never mind. So that's going to be a success, but this one's not going to be all that great. So we'll just switch to defense as soon as that battle is done. Oh, but they're advancing on the rear. Ooh. I hope they don't take too much at a time, or we might be pushed out of here. At least we're sinking a lot of Russian convoys, if nothing else. And that battle is almost done. Right, you hold the ground there to delay them, and this one's going to be another month, so there's probably going to combine the fronts by the time our troops arrive there. So our attack is actually going to be a success over here, so we're going to start pushing into Japan. What's this? Oh, Radical Finland. I mean, I'll allow it, I suppose. But over here, there we go. We're defending successfully to the north, at least. The south, it's just going to be another 20 days to get in there, which is going to be quite time-consuming. And that one's going to be done soon as well. So we'll start pushing in, and... How are the troops arriving in here? 16 days and 11 days. So I think we might just about be able to get troops on the southern front there and start pushing the Koreans back. And then if we can just hold on to the northern front... I mean, I'm sure that Koreans' war support is already dropping very drastically. It is. It's dropping 4.6 per week right now. So that is good news for us. And then Germany is losing 2 per week, and Russia is losing 1.6 per week. But they're not negotiating, so we don't need to necessarily worry too much about their stuff. Oh, alright. We're defending against the Germans there. Oh, okay. So do we have... No, there's some Germans on this front as well. Alright, well, we'll probably defend against them. Unless they're not attacking. Because they... Okay, that army has basically no morale. Start advancing instead. Radical Finland attempts to sway us against Russia. You know what? I'll join there. Why the heck not? It's a bit of a long distance, though. But I suppose I should have at least some regiments. Let's take the Indonesian regiments, for example. Send them to defend over... Which front? That's gonna be... Okay, that's a lot of troops in there already. Send it on the Finnish front. I don't know how good troops they have, to be fair. Seem to be okay troops. Jing sides with Russia, alright. So are we gonna be fighting in here? I guess we are. Just hold their ground there. I don't think the Chinese troops are gonna be that bad. I suppose I could send in another army over here to help defending. To be fair, the war hasn't started yet. Dahomey sides with Russia, alright. So we'll have some time to get the troops in there. And that defense is holding. I don't know if this attack is gonna hold, but I suppose we should have the advantage in numbers at least. Admittedly, we have no morale, so, you know, that's a bit of a problem. Goes the convoy raiding and all that. How are we doing over here? We got the troops finally into southern Korea as well. So the fronts will hold, I'm guessing. How many armies do we have at 0 organization, though? I think we lost the front there again. Let's go ahead and just hold the ground then. Because if you have no morale, then there's no point in advancing. Oh, antibiotics done. Excellent. Let's go ahead and put in... macroeconomics would be okay if we were trading a lot. Let's go for the mass propaganda, just to get a bit more authority back. Hopefully that will start spreading to us as well. Our convoys have been sunk a little bit. Right, so has this war... Well, it's uncertain. They are a little bit cocky, admittedly. But I suppose the Russians are moving a lot of their troops away. We're getting our troops in here, well, in a month. I don't know if the Finns will be able to defend here. Maybe they will. Ah, okay. But if we could clear out the sort of Grand Duchy of Finland in here and then just hold the front against the Russians there for a while, we should be fine. The question is, of course, will our troops be good enough to clear that out? And I reckon that they will be. But not necessarily from the get-go. Okay, so we're actually trying to push in there, but it's not going all that well. They do have some tanks, or mechanized troops. Okay, so that makes them pretty effective. Not good enough to break through our... Oh, they've actually pushed through. Alright, it's because the defending army has still no morale. Okay, so Japan is going to have a fun time there, but Koreans are going to eventually give up. And then after that, well, actually, we won't have front against the Chinese over there. It's just going to be the southern front over here. Or middle front, I suppose, at this stage in China. Oh, we got our naval combat in here, and that's going to cut off their raiding parties a little bit. They've still got some ironclads in there, which is not good enough against us. And the war against Russia has started. And... Oh, Russia capitulated from the other war. Alright, well that removes some of the enemies on the fronts. Although actually I think they had already pulled most of their troops back anyway. So it's less of a problem. But now we'll be still sinking a lot of the German convoys in here. And hopefully we can stop them sinking our convoys now with the fighting of the fleets there. Overly enthusiastic partisans. Trade unions do love us, so we can maybe reduce their power a little bit. The industrialists are still pretty high in power. Who's going to win the election, though? Seems like it's going to be Social Democratic Party and the second biggest is Conservative Party. By the looks of it, we got all... Actually, we still got some gold reserves going. Oh, is that... that was our attack, wasn't it? Oh, so they're going to retake some. Flash freezing unlocked. Ooh. Is there any... Oh, right, that's the law, but the government. Reform government. Okay, that seems to be the highest that we can go for. According to this, anyway. So, well, it's going to be a lot less legitimacy, but it's still better than nothing, I guess. Oh, and their attack is failing. Good, good. That attack is failing, so we should probably pull back a little bit in there. Or maybe we'll just send in this one to help defending that southern front. So if and when they do a counterattack, we'll be able to hold on for a little bit more. Like so. And with this counterattack they're doing, or rather, yeah, I suppose that is a counterattack. Now that they're doing in here, we should be able to retake some of this land. I don't know how much we'll take from this defense. Hey, we got obligation from Wales. Excellent. And we are hopefully going to start pushing them back again. I mean, there's still Germans in here, but they have no morale. Actually, they do, but they don't. Don't know what's the problem with that. Yeah, no, they do have morale in there. Although the average defense is actually fairly low. So we might actually retake a lot of land there. We are defending against them. The counterattacks in southern Korea. And how is the Korean war support? It's -5 right now. They're not losing quite as much as they were, but they're still losing some of that. King intervenes in the politics. Ooh. I'll take it. 58% chance of passing the law. And we can declare neutrality on the original wars. We don't need to worry about those. And is the attack? Yeah, the attack is going to go through. Inflicting a lot of casualties, that's for sure. Right, so the war against the Chinese over here. We've got 85 battalions defending against 105 of theirs attacking. Well, now it's down to 90 battalions attacking, but yeah, this is going to be a bit of a slaughterhouse in here, to say at least. Admittedly, if we had our tank production going, we could have had a bit better troops at that. The mechanized troops and all that sort of stuff. We probably would have pretty good attack values. But I don't think we need to necessarily worry about it too much. I think, actually, are we finally getting some morale back? We are. Okay, it's going to go up to 100% once it's done. And the German morale should be fairly low overall. I would think anyway, but let's have a look. Oh yeah, it is at 0% right now. Target supply value is 90%. I suppose, for reasons unknown, they have basically nothing in there. We do have a bit of attrition again. Where's this one though? Oh, is that? No, that is still... Where are you? Where's Karelia? Oh, right, they're thinking our convoy's going to Karelia. Alright, well, let's go ahead. Oh, we just arrived here, didn't we? Oh, we're defending in a battle there. Alright, well, we're going to win that combat quite handily. Then we'll do a counterattack and start fighting against them. The Russians should be held somewhat well in there, I guess. Judging by the defensive values in here, the Russians should be... Well, they got the numbers advantage, admittedly. But if the Finns have at least similar numbers of troops, then they'll be able to hold on. And once this combat is over, we'll start attacking against the Finns. We'll conquer the southern Finland region, and then we'll start advancing, or holding the ground against the Russians, I guess. And slowly but surely they'll win the civil war there. Right, in the meanwhile, how's the battles going on in Japan? We got another defense, so we should be retaking some of the land, I guess. And in Korea, we're still holding our ground. Slowly but surely. We're thinking a lot of the convoys are for the enemies as well, so that should give us a bit of a breathing room in here. Oh, they should have a lot of supplies in there, but they don't. Which is a little bit surprising, but I'll take it. Oh, we're going to win an attack against the Germans. Oh. Alright, I'm taking a lot more casualties. Admittedly, it's probably mostly just Japanese troops in there under the command of that general. How's the war support going down so badly? Oh well. I suppose we are going to win the battle of... Oh, there's a lot of Chinese troops here. I don't know if we'll actually win that. They got okay defense. Our attack isn't quite high enough. We don't have the morale that we need. But even if we lose that, we should be fine. Donation of knowledge. University of Malaya, sure. I'll take that. Not that we can't really utilize the innovation from that, but a weekly innovation has gone up to 163 again. So it's not all bad. And I'm hoping... Oh, there we go. We got a little bit land there. Is Korea going to surrender soon? It's -42, so you could say that it's getting closer and closer. Technically speaking, if we don't take everything from them, let's say take Yangho. No, they wouldn't. Well, I suppose I can't make a separate briefs with them anyway, so I'm just going to put everything in there. See how bad the approval for these peace deals are. But once Korea is out of the war, then we'll be able to do easily a landing. Oh, is this... Oh, there's another defense. Did a bit of a blunder there, but we're still going to win quite handily. But I just realized we are way out of time with this episode, so if you enjoyed this, please like or subscribe if you haven't already. Also check out the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.